Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Ben and Cata webinar on the Thursday afternoon. How's everyone doing on the chat? We're seeing some viewers already. If you're joining in, please let us know you're here. The regulars, I expect them always to come on the chat. Wave hi, say hellos, tell us how your trades have been going. Press the like button. I mean, it just helps us a lot. There we go. We already got one regular in. Hi, Prav.
Yeah, hi, bro. Glad to have you here. Oh man, I think Prav is also quite active on Discord, no? If I'm not mistaken, I saw him asking with
Yes.
Roman.
Yeah.
Roman is doing a great job, by the way. Like, shout out to Roman if you're here with us, man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and Roman got his is now a funded trader.
it is, yeah, I've seen that. So
He
a specialist.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
He managed to go through his testing rounds quite quickly. So he's now trading for reals. Yeah, so curious to see how he's going now that it's with real money, because it's always a little bit different mentally, of course. Paper trading sounds fun, but yeah, it is fun until you have to do it with your real money.
Yeah, you know how it is. You have to hit the fan to be able to really learn. And it's like life. It's like real life in the end. You know, you're never gonna be able to learn something until you're not making your own mistakes, and hopefully learn from them. Yeah, I think
we've got Dimitro online as well. Hi, Dimitro.
Hey, Dimitro. Yeah. No, it's great to have. Just wanted to remind you guys that we gonna be the next week in Toronto, where we're gonna hold on site our trading summit together with the better traders with Aaron, or aka Moonin Papa. It's the first time that we are doing something like this, so we're quite excited. We already have already 20 people registered for the event. So if you're gonna be in Toronto for Consensus, then you most likely gonna be able to see us. Our summit, so the trading will be on the 15th of May, on site, as I said before. And yeah, I can drop here the link for it in case someone else wants to have more information.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to go to Canada. I've never been there. I think it's going to be a good party there.
Oh yeah, definitely we're gonna be a good time. And also at Consensus we're gonna meet a lot of people and so on.
Yeah, because you've been to Consensus before, right?
Yes, so I was here in Austin. It was quite nice. As you said, there are like a lot of parties, a lot of people, and it was nice to see that there were so many people knowing about Altrady, because I had my hat and my shirt with Altrady, and people were like stopping me and say like, "Hey, from Altrady," and I was like, "Yeah, you're a customer." And it was nice to see that are actually more people that know Altrady that we thought about it, which means that we are growing. We are going in a good direction, in the right direction at least. Not the easy thing to do. However, I was really surprised and happy about that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm curious to see if we're going to get recognized again in Toronto this time, which I will, because I didn't join you in Austin, but I will join you in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Now
it's just a shorter flight. It's just, it's a few hours off the flight.
Yeah, for you it's a bit more difficult. From my side, from Houston, I think there are like 3 hours and a half of flight, so it's quite convenient.
Yeah. Oh my.
Well, we have already 13 people right now watching, which is nice. Hello to everyone.
I'm going to pull up the chart, by the way.
Yeah,
I've got the chart inside. Just because Bitcoin is almost hitting 100,000 again.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Oh,
like God. It's fairly close. I haven't even set up an alert yet for it, but no, I have. Did I? Yeah, I think I did.
decide yourself then.
No, I did. Just not on this account because this is the demo.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because we gotta know when that 100K hits again.
Yeah, and I have the feeling that will happen soon. Looking at the market, the way, but let's see, because we don't know which trend.
Going already into the topic of this webinar, day trading, swing trading. But actually, what's missing is also the investment part, right?
Okay.
So it's not essentially trading, but long term investment is still very much a play. And in that regards, the reason why I'm so interested in 100,000 is because looking at the long term. So if we go over to the monthly, so here this was the previous all time high, and this was then the push next to it, right? So what I'm expecting, and I'm not sure it will happen, but something tells me that it might. And that is just by the end of the year, somewhere around here. So we've got a few more months. We might see that
the same pattern, no?
Originally, I had thought somewhere 125 we would get to at some point.
Okay.
Right. I'm not sure if we're going to hit that right now, but 115, something like that.
But that's for this year. However, what's your view of like long term?
Yeah, so no, that's for this year, and after that, I expected to make a correction. I don't know, maybe even back to here.
Wow.
Eventually, like it'll be a while, but yeah, and then we get some nice little bits at the bottom before then another push here, but then we're like this will be dragged out way longer.
Yeah, I will expect that. I will gonna have my
so the reason the reason why I'm interested in this 100,000 now is because I'm more likely to start selling off my long-term investments from when it breaks again. So as I dollar cost average around this level, I will be dollar cost averaging out around this level.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly where it will end. So
but the profit is,
I will be taking it out and then
it's worth it. I mean, how, like, if you bought at 16K and you go to 120, I mean, you have, I don't know, 7x, 6 times, or I mean, it's
from here,
quite a lot.
I bought 20, so my average entry was around 20.
Okay.
For the last
mine is
period.
16K.
So yeah, that's 4.
Yeah, it's like 4 times.
4
I mean,
times.
what investment or what bank will gonna give you that? No.
4 times.
If you
they will give you like, well, the average is still like 10% year over year on the S&P, of course.
Yeah, but it's 10%. It's not 400%.
No, that's definitely different. Definitely different. But also, you wouldn't get this drawdown, of course, with like another nice. This is 60. Maybe we even get to this one, like 75%, 80% drop. Whew.
You don't know.
That's gonna be brutal.
That's the thing. That's why you need to have always some cash put aside, because you never ever know.
And in terms of long-term investment, I think like the big difference between this period and this period, or this period, I should say, is that this period and this period is very different. It's been very different. It's been very different, especially with alts. Like the alts have not behaved the same way. Yeah. And I think it's because there's more and more interest in the Bitcoin with the ETFs and all that kind of stuff, that there isn't much more money flowing into the alts. Plus that the alts have, there's so many of them now. Every day it's so incredibly easy to create a coin now, that there are hundreds, or I don't know,
there are
hundreds per day, per hour. I don't know,
hundreds of thousands. I don't know, but most of them, 99.9%,
most of them just out there to grab your money and then rock pull you. But
yeah,
So that's different. So I'm not sure. Maybe because of all that, we're going to see a less of a reduction. Maybe we will just see this, something like that. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to set and make this parallel with altcoins because, in my view, the way I see it is Bitcoin indeed now gets more exposure through ETFs, through investment funds, and of course, Michael Saylor and all the big players out there. However, there are some alts coming with like really breakthrough technology, and they are still not known. Now, right now, Bitcoin is start to be heard for people outside of crypto, and they are at least hear about that, or
yeah.
they are a bit more informed about that. And I
I
do
reckon, but
think
if you ask people like, would you buy a Bitcoin or do you want to have $100? What they would answer no. I think most people will now understand that Bitcoin is more worth it.
exactly. So it changed a lot from the previous run and so on. And that's why I'm thinking like for altcoins, like from a 5 years time period, I believe a lot will change. And the ones that really are creating technology that they're really creating value, not just I don't know, smokes and mirrors. Let's put it like that. They will have a huge impact, and they will be added to investment funds, to ETFs, and so on. And there are some players out there investing a lot. So yeah, but we will see. We will see.
Yeah, we will definitely see. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe like something like this would happen. So another 70% drop. Yeah, that sounds plausible.
It's exactly.
It fits right into that smart money concept plan where fair value gaps will be filled. So we saw that this one definitely filled.
Yeah.
This one was filled, so we have this one remaining. Yeah. Who knows? We will see.
I will definitely keep some money aside. So I'm also planning to sell some of my Bitcoin around 120. And definitely I will gonna expect afterwards.
Yeah.
I will see what will happen. I mean, regardless, I'm still, because I have my average entry price at 16K. So almost 16,700 or something like that. So yeah, I'm already like 5 times or something.
All right, stop bragging. Jeez.
Well, it happens if you pay attention and you learn. Actually, you taught me that. So from
Well,
here,
I told you about the long term swings,
yes,
of course, right?
yeah, exactly. So that's a big part from your side. So thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. My commission is 15%.
You are helping putting mine for my Porsche.
All right.
Okay, let's go into our today's topic, that is about swing and day trading.
Yeah, so
trying to
that
understand what
the
happens.
investment is nice, but
Yeah.
that's not necessarily trading. Doing
Correct.
something here and then doing something there. That's not really exciting. I mean, the profits are incredible, but the trading is very boring. So the other types of trading that you have are day trading and swing trading. Now, I would like to know from the audience what type of traders they are. Like, do you classify yourself as a swing trader or as a day trader? And perhaps I would need to give you a little bit of the definition, or at least my definition of it, where I would say day traders are people that enter a position and they exit the position preferably the same day, but maybe it can spill over into the next day depending on what time you took the trade. But a trade should not last more than 24 hours on average. Like, you can go a little bit over, but not more. And the swing traders, they can have quick trades. You can have a trade that hits your profit target in 5 minutes. That doesn't matter. It's about the intention and the idea behind your strategy. Like, are you willing? Are you capable of leaving your trade open for more than 1 day, several days, a week, maybe even pushing it to a month? then you would classify as a swing trader. So I would like to know from the audience what type of traders they are. Or do you mix it? Like maybe you like to play with a small bit of money on the side and you want to do the swing trading for larger gains. I don't know.
Till someone answers, I can say now that you provide this definition, I think I'm more on the swing trading side for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm heard it's also swing trade. So I'm
Swing
in
trade with
general,
bots. That's the sweet spot. Prav is more of a swing trader. Still not confident with day trade.
I'm curious. I think people, to like really do day trading, I believe this should be your job. You know, the way I see it, like daily, to be able to analyze.
Not necessarily. I mean, it makes it easier if it's your day job, right? Because then you just have more time. But you could maybe do it several hours a day, where you set up your positions, and then at the end of the day, you make sure that you close them. Then you're still a day trader, even though you're not doing it full time.
With a tool like Altrady, I think that would be way more easier. That's true.
With a tool like Altrady, that becomes very much.
We can make all the swing traders day traders. It's more about the time frame that you want to trade and the in the end.
But, exactly. Yeah, that's that's kind of what it is, right? So the day traders, they tend to go for the low time frames, right? And if we go, let's pick a 15-minute one, and we look at it, then they would look at to buy here, and then to maybe already exit here, which is from here to hello. There we go.
Yep.
Like 14 hours. That's a quick trade. But this is on the 15-minute chart, right? So it's especially looking for for the type of trades that work on these time frames. Because if we go over to a 4-hour time frame, then you could still trade the same strategy, right? So we have a similar move here where we might enter. So we enter here and we could exit here. I don't know. I'm just saying like here, like that. But then all of a sudden, this already lost 4 days.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing about that is really nice about the way that the candlesticks are formed, where the candlesticks are formed from the lower time frame candles, is that in the end the time frames, the candlestick patterns still work, and the candlestick price action it shows you still works on any time frame that you look at it, right? If you have a strategy that you could apply on the candlesticks patterns or the structure, the market structure that is presented to you, and you have a profitable strategy in that, then you could trade that. Now the difference is the time it takes and the percentage that you make, right? Because this is a 16 or 17% move, but on that 15-minute move right here, that's only a 1.6, so that's like 10 times less. The difference being that if you trade on these shorter time frames, you can just simply trade more. So you can have that 1% per trade. And as I think I've mentioned it before, if you do 10 trades of 1%, then people think it's 10% profit. But it's not, because you can use what you've earned in your previous trades on the next trade. So your portfolio grows. So if you apply that 1% risk, that 1% risk is applied on a growing portfolio. So by the end of it, you will have slightly more than 10%. If you do one trade that takes you 10%, it's 10%.
Ben, I'm just thinking right now, do you think it would be helpful to have on our website this type of calculator where people can input and see that?
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of websites that do that for you, but it's like the compound interest
Exactly, compound,
calculator.
yeah. We'll see.
In simple terms, compound interest just means that every time that you earn interest, you use it to grow your portfolio, and you use that to invest more on the next trade. And that's in banking terms, and like what I've said before, like if you do 1% a day for a year, your portfolio would have grown like massively. And that's actually what the day traders are looking for, right? They're looking for those small gains, small time frames, with a lot of trades. And the reason why that works for them as well is because they tend to use strategies and risk management that allows them to trade that often, right? If you, I think I've mentioned that before as well in our risk reward ratio calculation webinar. It was about the casino and blackjack, right?
Ah, yes, you mentioned that. Yeah.
The reason why the house always wins is because they have a slight edge over you.
Yeah.
And the house wins massively because over time, the more hands are played, the more money they will make. The slight imbalance in the risk reward ratio gives them that edge and gives them the profit in the long run. So they would be very, very happy with tables being full, with people playing quickly, so not taking too much time, because the more hands that are played, the faster it goes and the more of those tiny profits they get, right? So they are like the day traders. They want to get in and out quickly. They tend to lose a little bit here, but then they win it back by people getting aggressive, getting overly confident with their strategies, going all in, things like that, doing crazy things that you would see in trading as well. And then you have, with the swing traders, it's the opposite, right? You take it slower, you take your time, you make a more informed decision, and you tend to have a higher success rate in your strategy, meaning that you could apply a little bit more risk. So where day traders would tend to use a little bit like 1% or 2% of their portfolio, with swing trading, you may actually be able to use 5%. Now, I wouldn't go crazy and I wouldn't go way above that. And also, depending on your portfolio size itself, you may or may not be comfortable with 5%. Like if you have a very large portfolio, doing 5% is, can be tricky. But if you're trying to grow a smaller portfolio on the longer time frames that have a higher success rate, then you could definitely increase your risk a little bit so that you can grow faster. And then the faster you've grown, then you can scale down your risk again. So now that you know the differences between them, how do you pick between them? Like, how would you think, okay, day trading is for me or swing trading is for me? And with that, you already mentioned it. So you already mentioned something like that with the time it takes. So perhaps you were saying like day traders are definitely like professional traders. But there are professional traders that don't do day trading. They do swing trading. They still trade professionally every day, but they tend to do more analysis, especially in stocks market, where they they tend to do the analysis, the deep analysis of the company behind it itself and the markets that they're in, and doing their due diligence to make sure that they enter a position in the correct way. And then they find their strategies in the market, and buy and sell for the higher price, or they short the market even. But it's about the level of comfort that you find at it, right? If you're very nervous, if you and I'm in that category where I don't like to leave positions open for a very long time because I at least it depends on the strategy that I'm using, but Like, for example, with the smart money concept that I'm learning right now, I'm struggling to leave the position open. That's my main issue right now. So for me, it would be maybe a bit more comfortable to do the smart trading strategy on a day trading strategy where I find setups on the lower time frames. The only problem with that I have in that case is that the markets are just not suitable for a day trading on the smaller time frames with the smart money concept. There are others that work.
Yeah, I also find that risky. I remember at some time ago, I don't know, like 2 years ago, I was trying to have like a strategy with 2% per day, like gain. That will be my strategy. And it was extremely hard to find markets. So I think that's something, because you will have periods of time where the markets will not do anything. It will be like static.
Well, yeah, the static part is difficult because you're not going to make that 2%. That's the issue.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And what happens is that having that in mind is like, no, I have to do something today. You have a higher chance to lose money, actually, because the risk is not based on something concrete. It's based on like, I have to do that.
Yeah, you're putting a lot more pressure on yourself.
Exactly. And I tried to do that for like 1 month actually, and I actually lost money. I was like, okay, this is, at least for me, doesn't work. I don't know if it's stupid or not. However, I find that very difficult for someone to find daily a market that would be in profit. I think it
requires a lot of practice as well, and I don't think anyone on our team is very experienced day trader, scalping trades and things like that.
I don't know if Jennifer was doing that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Jennifer does do a little bit of day trading every now and then, but she's definitely not a day trader.
She's not a day trader. That's true. Yeah.
No. As who was it? Kurt said, swing trading with the bots is definitely like that. That's the sweet spot, right? The bot takes a trade and you manually manage it after it's been taken. That's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, that's the easiest
for
part.
most people that have the least amount of time, right?
Exactly. I'm not saying the easiest, however, definitely from a time perspective.
I also know, like especially from our Dutch community, that they trade on the small time frames. They trade 3-minute and 5-minute charts. And they tend to take very small amounts of profit. So they're looking for like 1%. And I can tell you a bit on how they do that, for example. So they would look at the Bollinger Band, and they would look at RSI and MACD, and they would use those as signals to buy, right? So if the price breaks out of the Bollinger Band below it, then, and there is enough room for profit, and there is another indication on the MACD or RSI, then they would take the trade, right? So RSI is not indicating anything, but MACD is, because it's down, and the Bollinger Band is down, and there is, well, in this case there isn't enough room because there's not a percentage move. And the difference is that this is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a very difficult market for this strategy because it tends not to have these larger moves, right? And as you can see, if you trade this strategy here, then your profits are very, very small and basically impossible to do. But I have an example later where I can show you where markets are a little bit more choppy, and then this strategy works pretty well. So yeah, they use the indicators and then use scalping techniques to find their entries and exits. And they then if you apply the right amount of risk reward in your trade, then if you're successful enough times, then you should become profitable over time. And you can trade this. You could pick one market or you could pick multiple markets, right? You could have a watch list of 5 markets to say that that's the one you're day trading, or you could use a scanner that provides you with signals for things like the Bollinger Bands. Set up a trading view Pine script that alerts you, things like that. So that you don't have to sit behind your computer and watch for it. You could use the quick scanner. I think in one of the next webinars, we're going to actually show you how to use the quick scanner to do this. Yeah, that is the next webinar. I see that now on my list. So yeah, there are plenty of ways to get in there. And then of course for that, so this is what a lot of the day traders use. And for swing traders, we currently have our smart money concept, which generally is swing trading when you pick the 4-hour and 15-minute combination, because your trades tend to last a little bit longer than 24 hours on average. Like it doesn't mean that they never close below that, but also depending on your profit target. Like I believe what Roman said to me earlier today was, if you use the premium discount zone and you target the outer liquidity, then the swing can take days, several days, or maybe even a week before the price gets there, or even longer. Like it could even be longer. And that's the swing trading. We also have the crypto base scanner, of course. So if people aren't familiar, then
the almighty crypto base scanner.
In the crypto base scanner, we have the basis, which is also very much a swing trading strategy, because this is the 1-hour chart, and you see dips below here, and by the time it returns, we're here actually. Oh well, 1 day. Well, that was a short one. If this wick didn't happen, then it would have taken you 3 days, right? And this is Bitcoin. There are other markets, like we have near here. This was where I was drawing. There we go. Just turned the Christmas tree off. Yeah, here. So for example, you have something that lasts 16 days. And from the bottom, it was 22%. So if you manage to get in at the bottom, which no one ever will, that would have been a 30% profit in those 16 days. So not bad. Right, so that's very much a swing trading strategy as well.
Yeah. This is a clear one.
Yeah. So I wanted to show you a little bit on how you could actually trade this. Right. Now, I'm not going to show you this, obviously, because we already seen it. Would have been a bit... Well, I mean, I could say, let's do the replay from here, and then buy here, and then sell there, and then woohoo, lots of profit.
And millionaires. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a nice video, of course. It shows you exactly how that platform works. But let's pick another one.
Yeah.
Let's pick XRP. And let's do backtest, and let's set it to the, yeah, that's fine. 15 minutes. I don't want to see the basis now. There we go. Right. So this is that 15 minutes scalping strategy. In this case, I'm using 15 minutes scalping strategy using the Bollinger Bands. And we can see how that would work. How you could use Altrady in this case. So when we go further in time, we can see that the price is now below. It's breaking out of this Bollinger Band. But we're not getting that 1% profit target. Right? So the theory is that if it touches this one, then that there's a high probability of it touching it at the top of the Bollinger Band again. Now, obviously, this can go all the way down, so it can touch somewhere around here. But with a 1% profit target on the 50-minute chart, we have a high chance of that actually happening. And then we also need to look at the other indicators that we have. So we see that it actually did touch all the way there. So we could have taken the trade, but that's in hindsight. That doesn't count. Oh, again, here we see something not high enough. RSI is also still in the higher area. So not good. And now we're getting into the 1% range, right? So typically what you could do now is then set your target like that and your stop loss. Let's say, so I'm looking for a 2 to 1. So 1% would make my stop loss at 0.5%. And the reason why I don't use anything else is just because my expectation is that this is already a trigger to go up again, right? I don't expect it to go lower than this. I want to give it some wiggle room because sometimes there is like this happening, like you see 2 candles. But if this happens, then I want to get out. Maybe I want to get in here. Right? This would maybe have been a good entry. So that's then how you would set it up. We could look at a 1% thing. Well, in this case, we're not trading with leverage, so I can't increase it to 3. So I can set it up like this. And then when I'm happy with that, I could hit the place order. Now, especially when you're day trading, using presets is very, very handy because you want to get in quickly. So you can click on add, you can give it a name, you can make some small changes here to set up that that preset. I've already done that for this one, which is my Bollinger Band 1 to 0.5. And what would that look like when we use that? So now I've put it to my hotkey command 1. So if I press that now, instantly it appears on the chart, and I can just press confirm and it will place my trade. And then now we're in that market. And we can see the price quickly, very quickly, reaching that profit target. Less than 3 hours, or less than 4 hours, sorry. Maybe even 4 hours, exactly 4 hours. Exactly 4 hours, use your tool. 1.2% profit, not bad no. for 4 hours. I mean, you could be done for the day if your profit target is 1% on your portfolio, which is what we used. So, and then we can go on to the next one. And now we can see another very big break, and the range of the Bollinger Band is quite large. We can see that the RSI is also very close to it. MACD is low, so yeah, good signal. Let's get in. Let's play and see what happens. Now you see that this is already taken a little bit longer, and for a day trader, you might be looking into going on the next day, but using a tool like Altrady, you can, because you can simply set up the position like I did in the beginning right here, and just walk away from your computer. Simple as that. Right, and then we can go in again the next morning. Perhaps. Yeah, it's already morning. So we are waiting. We're not seeing much on the MACD and RSI yet. Yeah, so it's slowly touching. Yeah, RSI is now also good. So I can go in again. And there you have it. There's another profitable trade. Right? So using this strategy on a very small time frame can be really, really good. And using a tool like Altrady can help you to execute this quite quickly. Right? Because I needed to do something right here, and right here. Quickly just press my short key and place the trade and forget about it. Wait until I get another notification. And you could argue like, okay, but how do I know that this has happened? Well, in this case, we're trading on XRP and it's just one market. So we don't have to sit here behind the computer all day. We could use a tool like TradingView to set up that alert for when exactly this happened. And you could even go as far as saying that you would automate it. However, as you saw here, when I took this trade here, the RSI was just touching the entry point, right? But the MACD was very, very low. So this was a good indication of the price reversing. And that's exactly what happened. So that's for the swing trading part. The day trading part.
Day trading, yeah.
Yeah, very quick. Nice profits. I mean, $60 in this case on a $1,000 portfolio. That's not bad. Like because my risk is based on $1,000, right? And we're trading then with 10,000, so that gives me a 10x leverage, kind of. And so this means that in one day it would be 6%. Does the candle need to close below the band for entry? Yes, it does. Yeah. Because yeah, you have the small wicks, and then it can be very well. No, I say that wrong. I when I traded this strategy, this was a while ago. When I traded this strategy, it was just the reason why I stopped trading like this is because it is more time consuming than the time that I have, because it requires you to check it a couple times a day, but still I find myself very difficult when I'm in this trade and I'm working on Altrady. So I'm forced to have the app open and looking at stuff. That's the difficult part. No, okay? That's the difficult part. When I'm in a trade, I tend to look at it a lot because I'm working on the app.
Roman asked if you can create signals with these indicators.
Yes, you can. For now, you would have to use a tool like TradingView, where you could set this up in PineScript, and you could just ask ChatGPT to create you a PineScript that does exactly this. And then you could set up either to get you an alert, or you could set it up to start a position with a signal bot, which we've explained in one of the previous webinars.
Yeah, we do. No, I ask if you can.
I can. When I have time, I can.
Touché.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think now maybe we can make like a small parenthesis of what happens in the market. I don't know if you've seen, but Coinbase acquired Deribit exchange.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a huge deal, like 2.9 billion. I mean, and I remember that I had the chat with a small contact with the Deribit CEO some time ago, because we wanted to see if we can do something together.
Well, we almost finished our integration with Deribit.
Yeah, but it was like some IPA, you know, there were some technical
we had to stop it because of the the API. It just didn't support everything that we needed, so it wasn't a viable thing for us.
I mean, that's a huge deal. And if you look, I mean, what happens also in March, Kraken bought the Ninja Trader platform. So the big guys are starting to, grab the important key players in the market and get more
So
strategic.
who are we looking to get bought by?
No, we are not gonna go with Coinbase and Kraken. We're not selling.
Binance, Bybit.
Yeah, we shall see. But yeah, definitely there are like there are things happening out there. Huh? That's something. I mean, this is a major deal.
For sure. Yeah.
It seems to be the largest Bitcoin options platforms worldwide. So
Yeah, because Deribit was one of the few that did options. Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So I think it was a strategic acquisition. Good for them. Yeah, we probably, I don't know, it will be much more easier for us to buy Coinbase, Ben, I think, at some point. We, like the large VCs, what they are doing, let the smaller, medium players to do the hard work, and then you come up at the end and say, thank you guys for all your work. Come join Altrady. So, yeah. Now, let's get back to you and on a more serious note then.
Yeah. So, how about then a swing trading example? Well, we've had plenty of swing trading examples actually in the smart money concept webinar. But you know what? I don't care because we're gonna do one more. 4 hour. There we go. And I'm actually going to show you the trade that I missed. I missed it. So annoying. I wanted to take it. I literally had everything set up, and it was around this area.
Okay.
So, yeah, sounds right. Does it? Am I in the right one? It's.
If you don't know, Ben, I don't know who knows.
Yeah, when in doubt. Mm, 4 hour Binance. Yeah. Oh yeah, there we are. I need to turn this to 4 hours. Oh, there we go. Start replay from here. Yeah. Right. We're now here. Yep. So I saw this beautiful fair value gap, 4 hour fair value gap. Right. And I saw that it had already touched it once. Well, actually, that probably was the one that created it. Yeah, that was. And then yesterday, I saw that it was touching. Nice. Right, so strategy, waiting for the swing, looking at this point. Didn't hit. And we get a new low point, new swing point right there. We get the close. And then we have our entry all the way to the buy side liquidity and stop loss right there. Actually, I was aiming higher because I was aiming at this one, which would make it exactly 3. Yeah, that's exact. This was exactly my aimed setup, and I'm going to show you the way that it works. But as I explained already, I missed it because it just never touched this point. But the idea is that it should touch this, but it didn't happen, right? So I'm just going to place it right here because I think this was the right level. Not entirely sure. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. This is a very much swing trade setup, right? I'm targeting liquidity from way in the past, right here, 21st of February, looking for that. These swings, they tend to go for, like, this is already 5 days, right? This was my entry. I had set it up with an expiration for, like, if it reached here, then I'm not going to be interested anymore. Let's see what happens. So in this case, I just got filled, but I didn't, right? So just to be clear, I did not get filled, but I had my order right here, right on this line, on this green line. So frustrating. Still kicking myself. And then, you know, as a swing trader, you expect this to be taking a while. And then what do you know? 11 hours later, I see my profit reached.
Nice.
And this is a very typical swing trading setup. But as you can see, it created a huge fair value gap. So we'll probably have another entry anytime soon. But this is already today. So, and how far are we? So we can, oh, this is actually the next candle. Right here. We could see an entry here and then a continuation. Could be. Because we still have all this liquidity to be taken out.
Yeah.
And I think Roman would agree with me that these are very interesting. So we've already got this target. So we've got another target here, another target here, another target here. So lots and lots of targets to be taken. So we have plenty of wiggle room for entering fair value gaps, using the order flow to go up. And that's very much swing trading. This could take, I don't know, till June, yeah, end of the month. Why not? So that's for swing trading. And as I told you, I've set this up. So let me show you exactly how I set it up, and show you exactly what happened. Let's go back to the 14 I entered here. Let's go back to separate from here. Yeah, sure, fine. Let's go. So my exact setup was like, and this is great for swing traders, right? Because you really don't have that much time. So I did this. So I had set it up like that, and I had set my take profit. Well, doesn't really matter where some, yeah, like there. No, is it 90? Where is that? Well, doesn't really matter because it's going to be cancelled anyway. And I had set up my stop loss to right there. And then what I did was, because I didn't have time, because what time was this? Yeah, it was already late, right, when this happened. I did set expire position. Like, if it reaches this level, I'm no longer interested. Right, just clear my position, be done with it. And that doesn't work in the backtest yet, apparently. But that's how I set it up. And then, obviously, when it reached that level, it got cancelled and moved. It never actually filled my order. But yeah, you use the expire position at function. Did I use that? Did I use the wrong one? I don't know. Anyway. Is there any exchanges coming soon? Satoshi Nakamoto asks. If you're the real one, oh my god, that would be great.
Hey, we should let the world know that Satoshi is here, okay?
There will be a new exchange coming soon if all goes well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will announce it shortly, but I mean, somewhere this month we're gonna announce that. Yeah. So it'll be really soon, okay?
Yeah, basically by the time we come back from Canada, I hope we can announce it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there will be a new futures exchange coming. It's a it's a futures exchange. And for people that are asking, yes, you need to do KYC. Most exchanges that we connect to will require you to do KYC.
KYC, yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just the game, and we just have to play with it. All right, Cata. That's it for me about how you can use Altrady for day trading and swing trading. So
no, I think it was a good session.
Day trading, using the hotkeys, going in and out of the trades quite quickly, getting the notifications, seeing the positions in the chart, very, very handy. Allows you to trade a lot more. Allows you to trade a lot quicker. Trade more and more profits, smaller profits, but accumulating more over time. Compared to the swing trading, where you do higher profit percentages. But fewer.
I think
require more strength to not touch it.
And also, just for letting you guys know that the next week we're not gonna have any webinars because we're gonna be out in Canada, in Toronto. Mm-hmm. However, the next one will be on the 22nd for the Ben and Cata, and the smart money backtesting will be as usual on Tuesday on the 20th. So
yep,
it will be
so nothing next week. Now. Maybe we I don't know. We're taking some cameras to Toronto, right?
Yeah, we're gonna record a lot from there.
So we'll have some footage to show from Toronto.
Yeah, exactly, from our on-site trading lessons and course that we're gonna hold there. It will be interesting. It will be fun. Also, the webinar that we're gonna hold on the 22nd of May will be very interesting because it will be about scalping. And as Ben mentioned before, he will gonna deep dive in the quick scanner functionality that we have, so we can show you how you can use that for your scalping strategy.
And we've tried it before, and we never managed to close a trade within the webinar. So
let's see.
Let's see. It might not be a profitable one, but it definitely will be enjoyable to watch for sure.
Prav asking backtesting release date.
Good question. We're still finalizing it, and as you see, there's some new regression bugs in there that weren't in there before. So we still need to work out those things. But in terms of new development, it's pretty much what you see is what you get right now. So we're in the phase of wrapping it up. It's gonna be pretty soon, but I don't want to say a release date yet because it's simply impossible to tell. If there's too many bugs in there, we can't release it.
But it's like this month, so somewhere at the end of the month, let's say. Or and we have Redmar with live stream vlog from Toronto, party hard. Yes, the whole idea is to get Ben drunk and live stream that episode, and maybe how we are gonna place trades using our mobile Altrady app directly from the party, like very serious traders that we are,
YOLO, pension gone, bye bye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, there's a reason I don't drink anymore. No.
Yeah, well, for me as well, I'm not either. So, well, we're gonna have some good tea. Let's put it like
that. Very strong Canadian tea.
Very strong.
That's what they're known for, tea. Right?
Thank you guys for being with us and for joining, and for that like and subscribe and share the information with your friends about Altrady.
We can always use more friends. We can always use more friends.
Yeah,
so exactly. If you know anyone that you think can benefit from Altrady, tell them about it. It's good for you. It's good for them.
And I also want to make a small announcement. So we are actually working on 2 new YouTube channels.
What? 2?
Yeah.
Where do we find the time? Where do you find the time to create 2 new YouTube
I don't
channels?
know when I don't sleep. It's simple as that. So we will have the mighty Dimitro in Ukrainian. So we're gonna have Altrady Ukrainian channel because we have that part.
It's gonna be
And
different languages.
and from the land of Gladiator and Arena, we have gonna have the mighty Rafa for the Italian Altrady channel, which will be launched quite soon.
I'm expecting Rafa to go in one of the sessions to go, "Are you not entertained?"
That would be a good one, actually. Yeah.
Are you?
So yeah, that's something that we are working towards. Also, we're gonna have a new trading course for beginners that we are working on, which we expect to have, somewhere the next month or something like that. Maybe sooner. We will see. However, there are many things coming for all of you guys that we are trying to plan and create.
Good. Right, Cata, it's 5 o'clock my time.
Let's go. Yeah, have a good one, everyone. Thank you for joining.
I'm out of the office. I'm a 9 to 5 guy, so bye everyone.
Yeah, I know for the last 6 years. Yeah,
I never made it. Never made it.
Exactly. Ciao, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.